What's cracking, y'all? You are now watching Boo TV. Appreciate you for stopping in. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, stay notified, and let's get into the topic for today.
A couple of games after acquiring James Harden and initially struggling a bit, the Los Angeles Clippers have picked up steam and definitely look like one of the better basketball teams in the league. They look like they are definitely championship contenders. Whether you want to believe that or not, up to you. Obviously, there's some people who say, we've seen the Clippers do this in the regular season. When we get to the playoffs, guess what? Same old Clippers. Whether it be lack of performance, not showing up, or injuries. You can take that all the way back to the Lob City era of the Los Angeles Clippers. Fair points. I can understand why you're just like, show me something when the playoffs start. Totally get it. Totally. But let me ask you this. And this is more to the media people that like to pick their favorites and then change narratives and change opinions overnight so that it favors somebody they think highly of, a player's legacy, or downplays another player or their legacy. I've noticed that. And I will give you an example of what I mean by that later. Now, media, I need y'all right now, as we approach the All-Star game, are the Los Angeles Clippers a super team? Because nobody has called this team a super team yet. But I promise you, if they end up winning the championship this year, all of a sudden, they're going to throw that label on this team. And they have their reasons why. You look at the four players, they're four marquee players, they're four big-name players that they have under Ty Lue. Paul George. Paul George has not been looked at as a top 10 player for quite some time now. Quite some time. Probably since he had that MVP caliber season playing alongside Russell Westbrook in OKC. That was probably the last time people had looked at PG-13 in a top 10 player spotlight. Even today, I'm sure many people wouldn't even have Paul George in their top 15 or their top 20. But probably definitely not top 15. A lot of people would not put PG-13. Would I? Yeah, I still think highly of Paul George. Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard is another guy that has fallen out of the graces of being a top 5 player by many. For me, not so much. Now, I've been watching these people as they put up their top 10 players, before the season start. I haven't seen Kawhi Leonard up there for quite some time. Now, when I did my top 10 players list this year, and I knew I would catch heat for it, and I think I might even said that in the video. I was like, a lot of y'all probably ain't going to like this pick, but I'm putting Kawhi Leonard. I think I put him number 10, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that. But I was like, he's top 10, and I understand a lot of people don't mess with him no more because of injuries and load management. But I say, when this guy is healthy, to me, Kawhi Leonard is a top 5 player when healthy. And he's showing that again now that he has his rhythm back. But given his injuries and the load management, but more so the injuries and the time lost, the times not played, I am not going to give him a top 5, but I will definitely give him that 10 spot to keep him in that top 10 because when healthy, he's that dude. I never moved away from Kawhi Leonard like much of the media has. James Harden. A guy that many people call cancerous. A guy that many people call a team destroyer. Another guy that many and most do not see James Harden as a top 10, top 15 player anymore. He's selfish. He's all these bad things. He can't perform in the playoffs. He will quit on you. All valid points. Don't get me wrong. All valid points. I've never seen anything quite like James Harden. He's spoiled. He's a baby. I don't get it. Team hopping. What are you looking for, James? What do you want? But this is a guy that has fallen from the graces of the public. Ain't nobody calling him top 10. Most ain't calling him top 15. And then and that's your big three right there. Three guys that many people don't have in their top 10, the top 15, or top 20. Or a combination of those three. And then you got Russell Westbrook. The guy that is looked at most poorly between those three guys. The guy that people call cancerous. A guy that people call selfish, which is not true. A guy that people call not a good teammate. A guy that people say has a low basketball IQ. A guy that people say deserves to be on the bench, isn't worthy of being a starter. A guy that people were out here capping, saying that Patrick Beverley was a better point guard than Russell Westbrook. That guy is a contributor to a super team? Is one of the fundamental pieces to a super team? All of a sudden, that guy? That's what y'all was saying about him. But I promise you that if the Clippers somehow go on to win the championship, all of a sudden, the very next day, maybe not even the very next day, but when most of the reporters are going to get on talking about it in the morning and championship run, they're going to be on there. This Los Angeles Clippers team, another super team wins a championship, led by Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, James Harden, Russell Westbrook, and those great bench pieces, Big Zoo, Norman, Terrence Mann, etc., Coffee. They have a big four. Really? A big four? All four of these guys have gotten slandered for all different reasons, and some of them, reasons that are in common. Now, all of a sudden, you guys are trying to paint these guys like they're some type of top 5, top 10 player combinations of 4 players? Or 3 in the top 10 and 1 in the top 15, top 20? Oh, don't give me that. I don't want to hear it. Y'all need to make a decision. Now, what's up? What's your opinion? Because I'm going to tell you why they do this. I'll tell you exactly why they do this. It all comes back to LeBron James. Kawhi Leonard, let's say Kawhi Leonard gets finals MVP. Well, he had a super team. He had Paul George, James Harden, and Russell Westbrook. Really? Really? Especially you brown people. Y'all want to bring up Russell Westbrook? Y'all were the main ones slandering Russ. The main ones. They want to look at it and be like, well, he had a super team too. To protect LeBron's legacy. They don't want Kawhi Leonard inching up on him in championships and finals MVPs. No. They don't want that. Especially in a Clippers uniform. The first guy to lead the Clippers to their first championship ever. A franchise that's been looked at as a joke since it came on board. They've already done this. I've seen them do this. And that's why I say that is going to be the narrative if they pull this off. Remember, when the Milwaukee Bucks won the NBA championship, the 2021 NBA championship, I was there. I flew out to Milwaukee to support Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Bucks. I was there, championship game in the city, celebrating after the game too. Girls twerking in the streets outside the arena. People climbing on poles. The city was happy, celebrating. I was there. And in the morning, wake up, turn on ESPN, and I hear them say, This LeBron James clutch affiliated whoever, one of the reporters, I think it was a lady too. She was like, oh, wow, great championship won by the Milwaukee Bucks. And I guess, when you look at the Milwaukee Bucks, I guess they have a super team. Giannis Antetokounmpo, Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday, they have a big three. I said, you know what? No. Y'all are not about to do this. Ain't no damn super team. Ain't no big three. Cut it out. Cut it out. Up until that point, the narrative has always been Giannis Antetokounmpo sticking around, decided not to leave and join XX and O to build a super team, decided to stay with the small franchise and figure it out and win a championship with them and do it that way. Do it, quote unquote, the right way. Wasn't trying to jump ship to a big city, said I had enough pieces. My pieces are good enough. I trust Drew. I trust Chris Middleton. Ooh, well, Chris Middleton was an all-star. I don't remember if Drew Holiday was an all-star during his Bucks tenure or not, but I know Middleton was. I was like, you realize I like Chris Middleton. I love Drew Holiday. I like both of them, but that's off the strength of Giannis Antetokounmpo. They tried to pull that mess with Giannis and the Milwaukee Bucks and say Giannis played on the super. A big three of Chris Middleton, Drew, and Giannis. Listen, I love Middleton and Drew, but they aren't that caliber of player. Cut it out. Cut it out. Giannis did something that we haven't seen a player do since Dirk Nowitzki won that championship. When Kawhi won that championship with the Spurs and won Finals MVP, he wasn't even like prime Kawhi Leonard yet. He was still a couple years off from that. He was not the caliber player Giannis Antetokounmpo was. Well, I guess you could say Kawhi with the Toronto Raptors. I guess we haven't seen someone do what Giannis Antetokounmpo did since Kawhi won it with the Raptors. That's fair. I think that's fair. Make up your mind. Make up your mind. Because y'all haven't thought that highly of these four players in quite some time. So don't try to revert back on your logic now that you're trying to push a certain narrative. Don't do it. I won't allow it. It's BS. It's BS. Y'all let me know what you think about it. Do you agree? Do you disagree? How do you view the Los Angeles Clippers? It's funny because, like I said, I'm one of the few people that I kept Kawhi in my top 10, and I've picked the Clippers most of the time to win a championship the last couple years. And this was the first time where I was like, I don't know anymore. I don't know if I could keep picking them. I don't know if I could trust the health, because when they're healthy, it's like, hell yeah, these guys are serious, but I don't know. And then I was like, they're just a healthy Kawhi Leonard and a healthy Paul George away from being serious contenders. But I think they need something else, but who knows? This could be the year, or it could be fool's gold again. We'll find out in the future. Anyway, catch y'all later. Be blessed. Take care. Check out our other playlists. And I'll catch you on the next one. We out, baby.